Adam Adamowicz was born on March 9, 1968, and grew up in Long Island, New York. As time went on, he decided to obtain a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Colorado, which he obtained in 1990. During his journey, Adam had attained a number of odd jobs, including driving an ice cream truck, fabricating window display sculptures, building haunted houses, tattoo apprenticeship, and even as a cake decorator for a bakery specializing in erotic cake designs. Eventually, Adam went back to school to study fine arts from the years 2002 to 2003 at the Boulder Academy, after which he would land a job at Jellicoe Entertainment doing concept art direction and a few freelance illustration gigs from Dark Horse Comics and a couple other publication outlets. In 2005, however, Adam had landed his dream career and began life as the lead concept artist for Bethesda Game Studios. There, within the Bethesda Game Studios, Adam would be able to be as fully creative as he would like, and it helped shape two of Bethesda's main game series visions into the future. Adam has made an impression within Fallout and the Elder Scrolls series that will echo for their remaining iterations. Sadly, Adam had passed away in February of 2012 due to complications of lung cancer shortly after the release of the last project he would see come into fruition, The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. Within Adam's lifetime, he would be able to witness a number of interesting human events, such as the first computer on February 1st, 1975. He would also be around for the turbulent times of the Watergate scandal that led into Nixon's resignation December 9th, 1974. The dawn of VHS, June 1st, 1976. The first test tube baby, July 25th, 1978. As a young adult, he would be able to witness the horrifying conclusion of the Chernobyl meltdown disaster of April 26, 1986. He would witness the horrible space shuttle accident unfold of January 28, 1986. The Hubble telescope was also launched within his lifetime on April 24th, 1990. Adam would also see every major video game console arrive and evolve within his lifetime to shape the landscape in which he chose his career and would end up shaping himself. Adam would have survived the Y2K craze of 1999 going into the year 2000. Also throughout his lifetime, Mr. Adamowicz would have witnessed a handful of wars and terrorist attacks, as well as the global recession of 2007. With such a multitude of colorful, exciting, and depriving events that happened within Mr. Adamowicz's lifetime, it is no wonder that it shaped the art direction that he chose to use with the styles he embedded in the Fallout series and the Elder Scrolls series alike. Throughout the 90s, Adam Adamowicz would have been influenced by the upheaval movement. This was not only a huge shift in the art world, but a huge shift in ideology as well, where the individuals were taking back and pushing what they believed in and broadcasting it to the society in which they felt necessary. During his era as a professional artist, Adam Adamowicz belonged to a very fast-paced and sprawling time in video game art direction. He entered a zone of large sprawling worlds that had to be meticulously crafted from the ground up and realized completely so the areas would make sense in the 3D realm in which they were created. Before Adam had started his career, games did involve a deep art direction. However, the way they were put together was a lot more rudimentary in style. Creatures, inhabitants, and locations often felt disconnected and hodgepodge. There was not a necessity to fully articulate a game to make a living ecosystem. Adam's philosophy on art revolved around Salvador Dali's saying, "Have no fear in perfection, you will never reach it." In this, his art stood out as more of a creation of bold ideas rather than aesthetics. Those were put on the back burner so he didn't have to worry about tight-knit creations, and was able to be more liberal with his concepts. He also believed in never stop being a student, and as well as that, had a daily routine in which he'd never break. He drew on the bus on the way to work. He drew for work. He drew on the bus on the way back from work. He exercised. He ate dinner. He drank wine and beer while working on personal projects at home. He would sleep, rinse, and repeat. Adam's main body of work revolved around his concepts he drew up for Bethesda Game Studios for the Elder Scrolls series and the Fallout series. His work was not limited to this, as he would sculpt and paint on his free time and often create encyclopedias of people that he would encounter as he rode the bus to and from work. Also, as mentioned earlier, Adam had worked for Dark Horse Comics as a freelance illustrator and had worked on an anthology series, The New Recruits. He would also work at Malibu Graphics for cover illustrations in the time he spent as a freelance artist. While doing any of his artwork, Adam Adamowicz would always use physical media. He would never use Photoshop, as he said it was easier to zoom in real life and zoom out than it was to in a computer-based model. Throughout the large array of Adam's works, he demonstrated that he knew the concepts of design. He implemented balance in both symmetrical and asymmetrical fashion. He implemented emphasis and subordination, directional forces, repetition and rhythm, contrast, scale and proportion. His art knew no bounds, and he would use these tools in and out where they see fit. Adam Adamowicz was a true master of his craft. As for the functions of Adam Adamowicz's art, I believe it incorporated that of delight front and foremost. His job was to make concepts of fantasy and have his colleagues transform them for entertainment's sake. There may have been other functions peppered in there from time to time, however I feel his work was pure delight. As a critique, Adam's work was very contextual and expressive. His colleagues spoke of times often Adam would have many tomes to study upon, just to master a sword, for instance. Feel and give it life and culture, and twist those concepts to make it new and fresh. He would constantly research architecture from around the world to influence the architecture he crafted for the games he was working on, as well as specific eras to get a certain zest he was looking for. Adam created to hand off to his coworkers and hoped to give them a spark of inspiration so they could render his work in the 3D plane they would end up existing. Adam would riff on old fantasy concepts from the illustrators working on the games before him, such as Mark Jones, the original lead artist from the Elder Scrolls series, to capture the feeling and not to deviate from the original lore and the true essence of what he was creating. Adam Adamowicz was a true pioneer in the field of video game concept art. Although Adam Adamowicz worked in the darkest spot of the Bethesda game studios, it was always a spot where Todd Howard would take touring guests to witness the creations of the future of Bethesda Softworks. Adam Adamowicz was said to be the easiest going and most lively part of the Bethesda game studios. He was the easiest to get along with, he was the easiest to have a beer with. He had a no-bull attitude, and he always said the most morbid, humorous things. Even though Adam was a generic-looking man, he was the most genuine one. His craft was masterful, and he was always there to put a smile on your face. He brought positivity to the table, and never negativity, all the way to the end of his life. Adam Adamowicz was a hidden treasure, and he will tremendously be missed in the world of art and the world of game creation alike.